Hey guys, it's Mrs. Myers here. I am going to read to you one of my favorite books. It's called The Most Magnificent Thing. It's written by Ashley Spires and it's also illustrated by Ashley Spires. This book is about a little girl who has a really good idea for something that she wants to make, and she calls it The Most Magnificent Thing. One of the reasons why I picked this book is because I absolutely love the illustrations in this text. The author does a great job with the story and all the details in the words, but if you really look at all the details in the pictures, you're going to see a lot of extra things that aren't in the text. So while I'm reading, make sure you're also looking at the pictures because you're going to learn a lot of other things about the girl as well. And before I start reading, I'm going to stop a few times while I read this text to ask some questions about the girl. We're going to focus a lot on who this little girl is, her character traits, her feelings, how she changes in the story. So really make sure you pay attention to a lot of the things that she's doing or saying. Okay, here we go. The story is called The Most Magnificent Thing. Let me just put this down. Okay. This is a regular girl and her best friend in the whole wide world. They do all kinds of things together. They race, they eat, they explore, they relax. She makes things, he unmakes things. One day, the girl has a wonderful idea. She's going to make the most magnificent thing. She knows just how it will look. She knows just how it will work. All she has to do is make it, and she makes things all the time. Easy peasy. First, she hires an assistant. Next, they gather their supplies. They set up somewhere out of the way and get to work. This is one of my favorite pictures I was telling you about because look where she's set up. Is she really out of the way? No, not at all. She's really in the way. The girl tinkers and hammers and measures while her assistant pounces and growls and chews. When she's finished, she steps back to admire her work. She walks around one side. Her assistant examines the other side. It doesn't look right. Her assistant picks it up and gives it a shake. Doesn't feel right either. They are shocked to discover that the thing isn't magnificent or good. It isn't even kind of sort of okay. It's all wrong. The girl tosses it aside and gives it another go. That's good. She smooths and wrenches and fiddles. Her assistant circles and tugs and wags. When she's finished, she stands up and takes a long look at it. Her assistant gives it a nudge with his paw. The thing is still wrong. She decides to try again. You think it's good that she keeps trying again? Yeah, I think so. The girl saws and glues and adjusts. She stands and examines and stares. She twists and tweaks and fastens. She fixes and straightens and studies. She tries all different ways to make it better. She makes it square. She makes it round. She gives it legs. She adds antenna. She makes it fuzzy. She makes it long, short, rough, smooth, big, small. One even smells of stinky cheese. But none of them are magnificent. So let's stop here. Here's my first question for you. So based on what we know so far about this little girl, what kind of person is she? Or what character traits is she showing us that she has? Yeah, if you were thinking words like she's a hard worker and she's patient and she's determined, those were the character traits I thought she was showing too. And I know this because she keeps trying to make her most magnificent thing, even though a lot of them that she's done has been wrong. So she keeps trying. That shows us that she's being patient with what she wants to do. She's very determined. She knows what she wants and she's trying everything she can to get it. And she's a really hard worker. This is a lot of work to try all these different things. Okay, let's keep going. See what happens next. Her hard work attracts a few admirers, but they don't understand. They can't see the magnificent thing that she has in her mind. She gets mad. The angrier she gets, the faster she works. She smashes pieces into shapes. She jams parts together. She pummels the little bits in. Her hands feel too big, and her brain is too full of all the not right things. If only the thing would just work. Crunch. The pain starts in her finger. It rushes up to her brain, and she explodes. It's not her finest moment. So let's stop here for a second and think about what's happened now in the story. So we did talk about how she's patient and determined, and she really wants to make this thing, but now she's feeling a certain way. So how is she feeling right now, and what made her feel that way? Okay, so if you were thinking that she's feeling mad right now, that's a great word, especially because she said she's mad. Frustrated would be a good feeling word to say right now. And she's fed up, right? She's kind of just like smashing all of her things on the floor. She's just fed up. Now, what has really made her feel this way? It's not just the fact that she hurt her finger right now. She's just been trying over and over and over and over and over again to make her most magnificent thing, and nothing's been right. Okay, and then she hurt her finger, and that was it. That was the cherry on top. She just could not take it anymore after that happened. So that all of these things happening over and over and over and over and over again eventually just made her so frustrated and fed up. Have you ever felt this way? Like nothing is going the way you wanted or the way that you thought, and you just kind of just want to give up? I know I have. I've felt that way before. Okay, let's see what happens to this little girl. I'm no good at this. I quit. Her assistant suggests a walk. It's not much help at first, but before long, she starts to feel different. Bit by bit, the mad gets pushed out of her head. So look at this. So she went for a walk, and you can kind of look on her face. She's still mad. But eventually, she said she starts to feel different. It's good. As they stroll along, she comes across the first wrong thing she made. The bad feelings are about to start all over again. Then she notices something surprising. There are some parts of the wrong things that are really quite right. The bolts on one, the shape of another, the wheel to seat ratio of the next. There are all sorts of parts that she likes. By the time she reaches the end of the trail, she finally knows how to make the thing magnificent. She gets to work. She works carefully and slowly, tinkering, hammering, twisting, fiddling, gluing, painting. Her assistant makes sure there are no distractions. Look at what these characters are saying. This one's all wet. This will stop that leak. This is the perfect thing to ward off bears. The afternoon fades into evening. Finally, she finishes. She alerts her assistant. Okay, let's stop one more time in our story. So her feelings have changed, and I kind of pointed that out when she went for her walk after she got mad. So what did she need for this change to happen? What did she need in order for her feelings to change from mad and frustrated to where she is now? So she needed a break, right? She needed a walk. She needed to take time away from what she was doing and come back to it later so that she could work on it with a clear head. And that's something that I try to do when I get really frustrated with something. Like if something's just not going my way, I stop. I walk away from it. And when my head is clear again, I can come back to it. And that's something that you guys could try too. Okay, let's see what she made. The pair take a good long look. It leans a little to the left, and it's a bit heavier than expected. The color could use a bit of work too, but it's just what she wanted. They climb aboard and take it for a spin. They are not disappointed. It really is the most magnificent thing. And there you have it. I think that's a pretty cool thing that she made too for her little dog. Okay. Well, make sure you tell me what you thought of the book in the form below, and don't forget to hit submit. Thanks for listening.